Palestine, a land etched by the footprints of earliest man, the crown jewel of conquests fought for by empires far and near, the crossroads of ancient trade routes, the Holy Land, where three of the world's great religions took hold.
We have history, and I'm talking about really the importance of Bethlehem and Jerusalem to Palestine as the cradle of Christianity and Islam.
Palestine's history has been one of challenges, a land of peace, faith, and knowledge that over millennia also suffered the imprisonment, oppression, and bloodshed of its people.
So it's, we have that long history in this country, that long roots, and we have been often under occupation, and it's really overdue that we have our own government that we can elect, that we can run our own businesses.
In an effort to bring peace to a persecuted people, in 1948 the international community created the State of Israel. It was intended to give a safe haven to a stateless diaspora. But the best of intentions went awry. Rather than creating a land of peace and civilization, the decision ignited a turbulent era of wars, hostility, and division. The people of Palestine, Christians and Muslims, were cut off from each other and severed from the outside world.
Well, I was 10 years old in 1948, and then I went to schooling in Europe, mainly in Europe, and I was then recruited by a multinational to go to the United States, and this was my exposure. I was thrilled with the United States because before applying, I didn't do only the cliche questions to become a citizen, but I really read from A to Z the U.S. Constitution, and that's really what convinced me to become a U.S. citizen. And my dream was always, well, how can we superimpose this in terms of universal values at some point, Palestine? And I worked toward that.
Palestinians were denied the right to make the decisions controlling their daily lives.
We realize that it's one government that controls all aspects of life here, and it's that of the Israeli government. But about 50% of the population that lives under the control of that government has no rights, because Israel is denying them of those rights.
Peace negotiations with Israel, brokered by the United States, failed. Palestinian and Israeli leaders settled into an uneasy limbo. Today, however, there is reason for hope. A new generation of leaders is determined to unleash Palestine's potential and create a new history. The Palestinian National Authority, under President Abbas's leadership vision, implemented a vigorous reform process, embracing governmental transparency, economic liberalization, and community initiatives.
The changes are quite profound. The changes are at the local level. You see it in communities, in villages, in cities. You see it amongst the youth. You see it in the social, economic structures. You see it in the political formations. You see in how the institutions function. They are acting like part of a state that believes in good governing structures at all levels. Youth are preparing themselves for the future role they want to play.
The reforms are bearing fruit. Palestine is a land of economic growth, an educated and skilled workforce, with innovative industries. In the midst of a building boom, skyscrapers, even entire new cities, and growing foreign investment. President Abbas also asserted a policy of non-violence and security for both Palestinians and all its neighbors, creating a safe environment for a lasting transformation.
I must emphasize our commitment to non-violence. When there is, of course, non-violence does not mean surrender. You still have to keep calling for your rights. You have to keep seeking independence and freedom, because these are goals that cannot be abandoned for economic growth. Economic growth has to be built on a solid foundation of freedom and democracy, participation and independence.
Today, Palestine is a land of potential. Palestinians, forced to leave their homeland during the years of discord, are returning home.
You know, we in the diaspora are raised on this concept of Palestine. It's almost a utopia. It's an ideal. It's something that we're raised with and that we want to work towards. We want to achieve this Palestine. So it's a desire of almost every Palestinian in the diaspora to come back and help create what they believe this ideal is, this concept of Palestine.
It is a country with developed governmental, economic and security institutions.
The IMF, the World Bank, they have issued all kinds of reports that to testify that Palestine or the Palestinian Authority is actually ready to be the new state of Palestine. However, we have, as Palestinian people, we feel that we are ready. We have managed to build organizations, companies, different institutions, schools, universities that are fully dependent on the Palestinian Authority. And all we need just freedom. We need to be free in movement, in import and export, in bringing support and talents from everywhere. And I believe the new Palestinian state will be a remarkable one.
Despite these successes, Palestine cannot achieve its full potential without sovereignty. Palestine must be granted the right to determine its own future.
I think we've done a great deal. We've proven that we could do it. In terms of values, someone who came back and who has lived in 4 continents, I can see how great the Palestinian, as an individual, how great he is or she is, and how great the fabric is. I mean, we're here in the very serious people. Readiness is not only about institutions. Ready, means are the people ready? And I think we have been ready for some time.
With direct negotiations with Israel at a standstill, Palestinians are determined to seek their fundamental liberties from the United Nations. It's time to fulfill Palestine's destiny as a nation of the world. Palestine yearns for its freedom and human rights as the Arab Spring continues to blossom. Asking the UN to recognize the fundamental liberty of the Palestinian people is the next right thing.
Abstract nationalism is no longer there. Palestinians are very realistic. They understand. The ones at least I work with, and I work a lot with youth across the West Bank and Gaza. I work a lot with municipalities across the West Bank and Gaza, civil society organizations, the private sector. Everybody is realistic about the requirements of having their own state, what kind of nation, what kind of state they want. We're ready. We're ready to govern ourselves. We're ready to be part of this world. We're ready to contribute. We're ready to receive. We cannot continue to be denied. We are ready. We've done our homework with excellent marks.
My name is Nabil Shaat, and Palestine is my country.
My name is Lana Abu Hajle, and Palestine is my country.
My name is Betty Sade. Palestine is my country.
My name is Ala. Palestine is my country.